What's up, my XRP brothers from another mother and my cute XRP sisters? This is Rob with the Rob 007 channel coming to you from beautiful Venice Island. Absolutely fantastic day down at the beach. 5 out of 5. And title of this episode, XRP to run violently to $10, $20, $50, and $100 by the end of the year. Watch this episode to the end. It said, here's the catalyst. And numbers don't lie. I got a great episode for you guys. I wasn't going to do an episode today. I was going to take the weekend off. And then just all this kind of news started to come together. I said, man, I'm pumped. I got to share it with you guys. And also a shout out to Rob of the Rob Report. Finally got to meet my XRP brother from another mother, living just a stone's throw from me. So yeah, he bumped into him up at Sharky's at the pier. And so great to meet you, Rob. Man, I have a feeling that we're going to have a lot of enjoyable years of camaraderie as we move into the banana zone and price discovery and real use case price for XRP. And a disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. This channel is for entertainment and educational purposes only. And thank you as always. We're pushing towards 8,000 subscribers. So exciting to see that. But indeed, if you are new to this channel, if you would hit the subscribe button to subscribe, the bell for notifications, that like button, tap it, slap it, whatever you are feeling for Saturday. And if you do Twitter, follow me at Rob XRP007. Love my XRP Twitter family. And also don't forget about the fine folks at iTrustCapital. 3 big reasons: 0 fees on custody, 1% to execute trade, and they will have an ROI on their XRP coming forth. And when you sign up, you get a $100 signing bonus for free. Links in the description. Love those guys. I will be interviewing them on Wednesday on this channel. And also don't forget about the fine folks at Caleb and Brown. Got such good feedback from you guys. A lot of guys that said, hey, look, I'm going to add to my deposits, and having learned what they did, and many of you guys are opening up new accounts with them. As for me, yeah, I'm locking in a couple of sell orders. So I think are going to hit within the next 30 days. Not financial advice. And yeah, you know, again, there are 0 custody fees. You get your own broker, you can pick up the phone, and it's institutional grade custody. Yeah, links in the description down below. And last but not least is Kraken. They sweeten the pot. I think you can get up to 150 on when you sign up with them. Links in the description as well. Yeah, they are one of my favorite exchanges to get a tight, and I do mean tight, trade in. And finally, yeah, this is what I'm so excited about. And I just hit like a next level of excitement. I was really excited about this. And that excitement just kind of went up like this much, tenfold. And that is getting the ROI on your XRP. OMG. Email me your name, number, and a good time to call you. Email's in the description. Please be patient. I'm trying to catch up with you guys. And also, you get the highest level grade of institutional grade custody there is possible. So yeah, I'm so excited about that. I'll reach out to you guys on that. And also launched something new. I announced it in the last episode yesterday. Yes, I am launching a Patreon group. It will be able to sign up starting on Monday. And yes, breakdown is that we'll do a 1-hour Q&A once a week. And that will be on Wednesdays. And then I will also be in and out. It's a private Discord group where we will have those Q&As. And I'll be in and out of that Discord throughout the week. So you can hit me up if I happen to be in. And also I'll be sharing my trades and also my long positions on other tokens besides XRP that you will get in there. And then also we're going to have a little fun with that and do some meetups, probably about once a quarter with my Patreon members. And then we're going to have fun. That's going to be all over the state of Florida. And also, on Friday, we're going to start all over again because so excited doing live streams on this channel. That'll be 3 p.m. on Friday, so that way you can get a lot of different time zones so you can chime in on that. And that's going to be on the Twitch platform. All right, in the comments. This is from Mucho Money. It says, we need clarity, act, pass ASAP. Amen to that, brother. I 100% agree. Also in the comments, George says, do you think Caleb and Brown will offer an ROI in the future? In my opinion, not financial advice, I think they will. So, and I like how they're going about it. They're acting much like Ripple, being that they want to be 100% compliant and also just have the limited amount of risk if possible, if no risk at all. So yes, I'll patiently wait for them. I do think it will come. Also in the comments, Chuck says, great interview with Caleb and Brown. Thank you. I thought it was, I appreciate that. I thought it was a good interview as well. And also, do you know that Warren Buffett, the head of Berkshire Hathaway, is actually stepping down? He's stepping down at the age of 95. This is why I never want to stop working. Talk about a purpose-driven life. Absolutely amazing. That's breathtaking. Currently, we got BTC, Bitcoin's at 96,000. Lost 100,000, is down up about 1%, trying to bounce off of yesterday's lows. XRP is at $2.26. Ouch, it's flat on the 24-hour. And the fear and greed index yesterday was 10. It does not get much lower than that. I think maybe I might have seen it 7 once. So also Mickle Markets had a great episode along with XRP, both of them pointing out that we could have a Bitcoin implosion, being that Michael Saylor apparently is now underwater with his buying of Bitcoin. He's underwater in the red, and actually on his company, MicroStrategies, they actually have a dividend that they pay out, and happens that he has no income stream. So will we see Bitcoin just implode? A lot of people think that we could have that. Jake Claver's on the record saying that if Tether does implode, we could see a huge correction in all the markets, all the alts, it'd take everybody down. A lot of tokens could possibly go away, and that could be this liquidity crisis as well, in which XRP could step in to settle the markets. Also, Brewmaster Brent, shout out to you, Brent, talking about dates. Bob Cugg's always throwing a couple of numbers around that we possibly win moon. He's got 3 dates we're looking at. November 20th, that's on Thursday. December 1st, just right around the corner, 10 days later. And then December 10th, that we could have a potential flip to switch on those 3 dates. Mark them in your calendar. Ripple banking license, yeah, where is it? And so we do know that Telcoin got theirs. And also remember, docs were, it's been 120 days. One of the reasons why it might be delayed is because of that Fed master account as well, in addition to the banking license. So let's see, maybe are this waiting for the timing that when the Clarity Act passes? Who knows? But I will tell you that we're running out of runway, so we're only about 6 weeks left till the end of the year. Elon Musk, this is so exciting. It says, if you haven't noticed, up on Twitter/X, they have updated messages. They have changed it to chat. I'm still kind of trying to maneuver through all that. It's still kind of like I don't have it the way I want it, being able to contact people on it, so not happy about that. But he says X payments are next. How exciting. And will he wait for the Clarity Act to pass, or will he just announce it? So exciting. And you know what, as far as X payments, there's been zero doubt in my mind that Elon Musk owns XRP, because again, PayPal used to be known as X.com. And also, he did a cryptic tweet this morning. He just said one word. Can you say Frodo? And if you put that in gematria, it translates to none other than XRP. And you guys remember that tweet he did many years ago of the golden ring from the Lord of the Rings, and it says there's one coin to rule them all. And if you look in the background and figure it out, XRP's at number 1 on that. So yeah, 7 days, by the way, talk about excitement. Next Saturday is November 22nd, that ISO 222 date that all 11,000 banks, SWIFT, FedNow, everybody has to be on board that new messaging system. 7 days. What will next Saturday look like? Not long to find out. And Q1, that's when December 1st we'll get that quantitative easing. So exciting. Only 2 weeks away from that, where the money printer goes burr. And then we got 16 days that Congress and the Senate can get their act together and pass that Clarity Act. Get her done, fellas. And also, you better be in or you're going to be out. Not financial advice with your XRP by the time that does pass. Digital perspectives. This is from Sage Advice from Jake Claver. He says, well, you might actually want to not sell at $100 when XRP hits $100. And why? He says, well, just think about Bitcoin. Would you have regretted if you sold XRP at Bitcoin at $100 within 10 years later? It did 1,000x and it was 100,000. Yeah, you just might. And he also goes on to say, leave a little bit on the table. I think that is indeed sage advice at the very least. And never forget retail. Actually, XRP was never for retail, is what I meant to say. Jake Claver talking about how currently there's only about 3 billion or less on exchanges. Todd thinks it could be as little as, shout out to you, Todd Report thinks it could be as little as 1.5 billion. And then he says, goes on to say, Jake says that there are 5 billion being held by retail, probably in other different wallets around the world. And he says most of XRP will sell, says they're here for $10. They're not settling for anything less. Yeah, there'll be people that sell at 5, but most will start to sell their bags at 10, 20, 50, and 100. And this is really interesting. He says, and this is where it gets really interesting. is that he says that there was something I wanted to chime in on about that as well. I talk about, yeah, we'll get to it. When he was up at Swell, which was about 2 weeks ago, and he says among the attendees there was this consensus where you had the likes of BlackRock, NASDAQ, Moody's, and so many other great of the financial world were there, that XRP will see a 6-digit $100,000 XRP and higher. I forgot to mention, then they said higher than 100,000. And then he goes on to say, we could see it all happen by 2030. That's a little over 4 years away. And then he had some of the most interesting observation, or speculation, I should say. He thinks by 2030 that there will only be 10,000 XRP holders in the entire world that hold 10,000 or more XRP out of 8 billion people. Will you be one of them? And also, let's get down to the very best for last, and why I'm so pumped up this morning. Now, we all had the Canary Capital. We were all excited about it, and we're going, well, it didn't really move the price, if anything, and when the price went down. And then when the numbers were just absolutely outstanding. And of course, it didn't bother me because I knew what those numbers meant, and I already shared some of those numbers, but I'm going to go on about some more digging down on these numbers. Absolutely fantastic. That there are, Canary Capital did about 245 million on that first day. The Bitcoin one did less than half of that. I think it's maybe only like 117 million on that day. And then the biggest stunning thing with that Bitcoin ETF was launched. The firm that launched this was not 10 times the size of Canary Capital, which I speculated in yesterday's episode. They were 50 times larger than Canary Capital, and Canary Capital still kicked their ass. So anyway, so we got eight, count them, eight. We got 8 XRP ETFs still left between now and November 29th. They could all launch at one time. But if you combine the assets under management of the remaining 8, it is 17,000% more than Canary Capital's assets under management. Let that sink in. Talk about an absolute tsunami that's going to start. And on the 18th, we get a huge one. We get Franklin Templeton. They have well over 1 trillion assets under management. That is on Tuesday. So we're only so many hours away from that. That is incredible. But the news doesn't stop there. If we throw in BlackRock and they just so happen to say, yeah, we're throwing our hat in the ring on that spot ETF, we want a little piece of the action. You think that'd move up that 17,000 a little bit? Yeah, you kind of think. So now with BlackRock, it would be 160,000 times larger assets under management than Canary Capital. That's this Cambrian explosion, supply shock coming for your XRP. So yes, I believe XRP is going to disappear between now and the end of the year, if not sooner. That's going to drive us from this 5 to 10 to 20 to 50 and to 100. I think this does drive the price of XRP to $100 by the end of the year. And yes, that's this supply shock. And XRP is going to dry up. And thanks to Robert Fort for pointing out this morning. And then I got to tell you, we are absolutely on the precipice of this drip flood. Everybody said drip flood. That's been one of the kind of sayings that have been since I've been in 5 years. And you know what? Indeed, the floodgates are not about to open. They're about to crush open. And it just seems like everything's converging all at once. We don't have to wait until January. We don't have to wait until February or July or any of this stuff. It's happening now, which is what Ripple seems to be saying all along, right? Since Swell, right? It is happening now. And also this aligned this news as well with the Evernote, their digital asset treasuries, and I think there are 12 additional ones now. And add to that Ripple Prime, that prime broker, they're poised to finally just start to set XRP free and using XRP as a bridge currency any day. And I think it may happen once that Clarity Act passes and goes live, or do they do it sooner? Comment down below. So, in the final note, as we say, hard to believe that 6 weeks from now we could be looking at a $100 XRP or higher. But I will say it will be easy to think about that bigger boat. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.